I know this relationship is toxic. I know that they are narcissists and I want to leave them, but it's hard. I know that it's hard. I'm not arguing with that, but you have to choose your hard. What do you mean choose my hard? I mean that staying is hard and leaving is hard, but you have to pick your hard. I think I understand, but like, how do I know which one to choose? You choose happiness. You choose you. I feel like one of them is harder at first, but it gets better over time. The other one, you remain in the same state of perpetual unhappiness. So pick your hard. That makes so much sense, but I just don't want to abandon them. I feel guilty. It's okay to pick you. The guilt is understandable, but it's not your guilt. It's not your burden. I know it's not my burden, but like everybody else has given up on them and abandoned them. You're not giving up on them. You're just picking you. You don't have to hate them to pick you. You don't have to hate them to move on. I know, but it's just so hard. Again, choose your hard. What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of A Narcissist Explains. I am self-aware diagnosed narcissist Lee Hammock, the narcissist from TikTok who uses his platform to raise awareness to, narcissistic personality disorder, and also in the process validate the victims and survivors of said disorder. So this series right here is dedicated to taking my TikToks and YouTube shorts and, just going deeper into them, a deep dive, so to speak. They're 60 seconds. This is going to be longer. The one you just watched right there is about choosing your hard, H-A-R-D. Because like when you're dealing with a narcissist, a lot of times you have to choose your hard. Because you have to choose the hard of staying or the hard of leaving. Because both decisions are hard. I know a lot of people are just like, that was an easy decision for me. I had to do it because of this. I had to do it because of that. But everybody's situation is going to be different. Like your situation is going to be different than my situation. Excuse me. Oh. I'm already started, so I'm going to keep going. Bless me. If you bless you. But yeah, everybody's situation is going to be different because like narcissists make it hard to leave and narcissists make it hard to stay. So if you choose to stay with a narcissist, a lot of people, secretly message me this, ask me how to stay, ask me how to live with a narcissist, how to coexist with a narcissist or whatever, because they either can't leave or they don't want to leave. So the situation is going to be different. Realize that if you decide to choose the hard of staying, then you cannot change that person that you are with. You have to learn to live with them. You have to learn to live with them in the capacity that they are, as the person that they are, as the person that they're going to continuously be. That's who they are. That's who they're going to be for the rest of their existence. And there's nothing that you can really do about that other than to practice and perform more self-love on yourself. To, appreciate yourself more, because that person that you've been dealing with, that toxic, narcissistic possible person, or, they're not going to change to accommodate you. You have to change to accommodate them. And, it's going to be the battle of power. If you're trying to, coexist with them and trying to push them, trying to get them to follow your lead, it's going to be dang on near impossible trying to get a narcissist to follow your lead. So if you're going to choose the hard of staying, you have to just accept that the fact that person, if they're not going to go to therapy or do anything like that, I don't suggest marriage counseling anyway, but they're not going to go to therapy plus marriage counseling, then the only thing you can do is tolerate that person for who they are. Don't try to trigger that person. Learn to read their energy. Learn to read their triggers. Learn to read what triggers that narcissistic person. Because, you trigger them, you never know what they might do. And if you don't know what triggers them, then you're going to be in a tumultuous situation for the rest of your existence, or as long as this relationship lasts, until you decide that you want to leave or they leave you. Because a lot of times that's what they'll do. You'll give your all. You'll give up so much to accommodate this person, to be with this person, to try to love and care about this person. And then they'll end up leaving you for somebody else after you after you spend so much time with them trying to accommodate to them, they'll leave you for somebody else. And if you are watching that new relationship from the outside looking in, it's going to look like the narcissist is accommodating to that next person, like in ways that they wouldn't accommodate to you. And it's going to drive you crazy because, they're love bombing a new person. The new man or woman is getting love bombed to Hades, just like you got. You know what I mean? Just like the stuff they made you want to stay, that's what they're getting addicted to. So you kind of have to watch that, because like once you become addicted, there's nothing you can. Once you become addicted to a narcissist, and you choose to stay, or trauma bonded to a narcissist, and you choose to stay, that's all you can do though. You have to accommodate to them, and you have to practice more self-love and put boundaries into place that you're just not going to give up. Set those boundaries in place and keep them in place, because like if you waver on those boundaries, if you shake on those boundaries, if you give up on those boundaries just a little bit, you're gonna get ran over for the rest of your existence, or for the entire duration of this relationship. Now to the hard, H-A-R-D, of leaving. A lot of people, you're trauma bonded, you're addicted. You know the potential of the relationship because you experienced it in the beginning or very recently. You know that person has the potential to be a great person, has the potential to treat you good, but they've fallen off the wagon. Another video I said the candle has been burnt out, has been blown out. The light switch has went off, and they switched up overnight. Like you have a different person, they're not as loving, caring, as affectionate anymore, and it's time for you to go. But you're trauma bonded. You have to start to break the trauma bond. You have to, kind of the same way of staying. You have to practice that self-love and appreciation and get to the point where you know that you can't change this person, and accept that. And accept that that person might treat the next person a little bit better than they're treating you currently. Accept the fact that, that person is going to move on to somebody else, and you have to find somebody else as well, possibly. But be okay with being alone for a little while, because if you speed out of one narcissistic relationship, you will speed into another one. I promise you. And things like that. So in this situation right here, if you choose to leave, write down, make an exit plan, because some people are violent, some people are scary, and some people don't make it easy to leave them. So have an exit plan, an exit strategy into place, because like you have to plan it out. Don't just do willy-nilly and just do it and then get caught leaving and then get love bombed in this thing, or that person gets violent with you, or that person throws a hissy fit and goes crazy on you. Make a plan, protect yourself, and if you choose to leave, do it in a way that makes sense to you. Sometimes you have to disappear in that person and not let them know where you're going, because they are scary, they are stalkerish, they have been physically violent with you before, and they will get physically violent on you again if they find out where you went. You have to protect yourself. So sometimes you might have to wait till they're at work. You might have to take the weekend when they're out of town or something like that. You need to make a plan in order to protect yourself. So leave in the way that best suits you. My wife left me. The last time she left, when I had left to I had to drive about 45 minutes to drop my oldest son off, and on the way back, she sent me a text that she was gone. So she made a plan, had people come over there, get her stuff, and by the time I got back, she had got all the stuff that she needed and wanted and left. But she had probably been planning for a while to leave. I noticed she was doing a lot of cleaning and getting rid of stuff. So now I look back on it, she was planning for a while. I just was missing the signs. I thought she was just spring cleaning. But she was spring cleaning to leave. So she left in the best way. Let me preface that. Let me back up. I'm not physically violent. I'm just a talker. So she thinks that if I would have talked to her, or she would have talked to me and told me she was leaving, then I would have talked her into staying. So she didn't want to stay, so she left. So that's how she did it in the way that best fits for her. Because I'm not a physically violent person, so don't just like leave. She was scared you're gonna beat her. No, she was not scared I was gonna beat her. That's not me. You know what I mean? So that situation arises right there. Do it in the way that best fits you. You don't have to give people closure. You're not going to get closure. Don't worry about closure. Closure is something you give yourself. You have to close the chapter yourself. They're not going to close it. They don't want to keep you. A narcissist gives you closure. They want to keep you around as the side person, the side chick, or the side dude. You don't want to do that. Just keep it moving. Keep your life going forward and things like that. Like I said, make a plan and do it the way that best fits you. Sometimes you have to go ghost. I shared a video on TikTok the other night where a woman she made a joke out of it, but she was just pretending to be happy while she was getting a house built or something like that. He didn't know the house was getting built. He didn't know she was moving. But, probably came home, her stuff was gone. She had moved into her house. You have to protect yourself. You just have to do it in a way that protects you and makes you feel the best about yourself. You know what I mean? You have to stay empowered, stay strong, and make the decision that's going to be the best fit for you and your family. But anyways, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Narcissistic Code. Choose your heart. Staying is hard. Leaving is hard. Be safe, protect yourself, like and subscribe to the channel. Mental Healness is out. Peace.